You'll be receiving a notification that we're going to be recording. And there we go. We've gone live. My name is Mark Monlux, and you have joined us for Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is an online drawing group. We meet once a week. Currently, we're meeting at Tuesdays at 4:30. We've been doing this now for about 6 or 7 years, way before the pandemic. My name is Mark Monlux. I live in Tacoma, Washington, and today I'm going to be working on doing some rough sketches for some movie poster artwork of movies that have come and gone. With us today is Judy. I think it's your first time. Judy, if you could turn off on your microphone and say hi, let everyone know where you're from.
Okay, I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I'm found the event on Eventbrite and decided to take a look and see what I could learn.
That's how we all started. Katie, you're up next.
Oh, hi, I'm Katie. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hi, I'm Katie C, and I am in Bonnie Lake, Washington. You can find me on Instagram at Evil Girlfriend Media. Today, I'm going to be working on the tarot card that I was working on the last time we were here.
Now, this painting is the second one that you've done that's along this theme, is it? Or is this your third?
This is my third. So this seems to be, this might become is the correct word shtick? This might become a shtick for me because people seem to love having their small dog as the moon card, especially with the wolf kind of in the background howling while the little dog is in the front. The dog I'm working on today is Sierra Napoleon. That is her name. And she is the dog of a horror writer named Crystal Connor.
Oh, fun stuff. Did you meet Chris at one of the conventions?
I believe it or not, that's how I usually meet everyone. But I actually met Crystal through a writer's group. Her friend was in a writer's group, and her friend introduced me to her online. And then I ended up meeting her in person at a horror con.
Judy, Katie and I attend the same horror convention, Crypticon, which is located inside Tacoma. I do a lot of other comic book conventions. I sell prints of movie-related themed artwork, like Return of the Living Dead, but I also do other films that are just kind of quirky, like Harold and Maude, or Die Hard. So I haven't done a Die Hard poster yet, but one of my friends is doing. One of my friends is doing a poster for this Saturday, which is Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and I'm really tempted because it's one of the few old films I have yet to see. And let's see, I'm going to show you in my share. I'm going to share my screen. Let's click on this. Hit this button. Activate that. So let's see where I have a sketch around here somewhere. Where? So This is a rough sketch for my poster idea for Christine. But I'm thinking rather than doing it in Procreate, that I'll do it inside Illustrator because it's just going to be a lot easier to flip things over from one side to the other. And I like the nice crisp lines that I can get. There's some special effects or filters I know I can use inside Illustrator that I'm unsure about inside Procreate. You can do blends in Procreate, but they're tough to do. Another poster I'm thinking about doing is for this island Earth, and this is a really loose thumbnail. So I'm trying to think if I want to do something different than just a big face staring out at the poster. I do a lot of these Uncle Sam style posters where the face is looking out at you. I mean, they sell, but I want to see if I can come up with something a little different for that. And I'm trying to think of what other quirky movie posters I could do. I was thinking about Jason and the Argonauts, but I don't think the audience at the comic book convention, unless they're over 60, I don't think a lot of them have seen Jason and the Argonauts. How about you, Katie? Have you seen Jason and the Argonauts?
I have a really long time ago. Talking about that, I saw a Clash of the Titans movie poster at Texas Frightmare this year, and it actually sold out. So you never, I know.
Clash of the, was that the new Clash of the Titans or the old Clash of the Titans?
The old one with Harry Hamlin. I believe that's the correct actor, right? Harry Hamlin. He was
Ray Harryhausen. Is that it? No, hang on. Okay, now I'm gonna.
Now you got to find out. While he's looking, Judy, what do you paint or draw?
I'm just a beginner, so I just play with anything I see. Doesn't come out looking the same, but I'm going more for the sketch at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I am the same way. I'm a newbie.
Oh, you're not a newbie.
There's a lot of it. This does not look that great, but when I came here, I've never taken art courses. I never considered myself an artist. I've always wanted to draw and paint and had done a little bit, but never like pushed myself. And so I started doing this group as like an accountability, and Mark and some of the other Bill's not here this week, but some of these guys, they have so much knowledge and they teach you so many techniques and help you problem solve your picture. But I like acrylics. They're teaching me a lot about digital, but I like acrylics, and I like doing alcohol markers, sketching things out and coloring them with alcohol markers. Those are like my two favorite.
Yeah, I've been playing with the acrylic paint, but I'll take figurines. I call them my yard family, and just anything I can find like that, and I'll paint them. And then I decided, well, maybe we need to do something else.
I've actually seen people sell those at conventions, like take the different, remember there was like a huge fad for like multiple years where it was like Victorian people like in like different fancy gowns, like dancing and, different positions, like ladies on fainting couches and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I go more for the gargoyles.
So what people would do with those is they would buy them at Goodwill, and like they would spray paint them with a base layer and then recreate them as like horror characters and different characters. So that's what that made me think of. Is that what you were doing, or?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Only mine are more the fantasy characters.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I was actually explaining to someone that it's actually a good thing to have gargoyles in front of your house and you're on your lawn, and they didn't believe me because I have a gargoyle bench in my front yard. I was like, no, this is to protect my house from all the people trying to sell.
Great protectors.
I was like, why do you think they're on tops of buildings? I was like, but yeah, do you have a website or anything where people can check out your work?
This is
okay.
Just the neighbors. They all stop by to see what I've got out different, or if I've repositioned some of them. And
oh, this sounds like so much fun.
Yeah,
I was gonna do it the lazy way and just buy some gargoyles off of Amazon. So
no, it's more fun to paint them, give them character.
I have to look at that.
So
I love the shadow of the wolf there.
Yeah, I've got to refine it a little bit, but this is my third one where I have two little chihuahuas. And so I was inspired by my chihuahuas. And, I don't know if you know a lot about tarot cards, but so, on the tarot card, there's so you have the wolf and the dog. And so I was like, wouldn't it be fun to just put them together? And like the shadow of the little dog is the wolf. So, and
at first I thought the shadow was him, but with those pictures that you look at it one way and you see one thing, and you look at it another way and then you see something else.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking yours was.
Yeah, I loved, that's one of my things I do is I'm in the middle of painting a collection. I'm doing the major arcana now. My first card was actually the devil card, and I used my own cat as inspiration for the devil card. So I'm doing all of the different cards, but I'm using it, my pets, and I'm using like different types of skeletons and just different off the wall animals in my own style. But I really enjoy reading and learning about tarot and being inspired about how to create my own cards so that people can interpret, what they see in them. But yeah, so that's cool that you read them. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know.
Except it always seems to have the answer, whether you like it or not.
Yes. Yep. Now, did you get what you needed, Mark? You were going to show us?
Oh, what was I? Oh, you were asking who he was, and it was Ray Harryhausen.
So why was I thinking it was Harry Hamlin? I don't know what I'm thinking.
Maybe you're thinking of Robert Heinlein, the science fiction writer?
I'll have to look. I'll get back to you. And maybe how many versions of Clash of the Titans is there? There's two that I know of. There's the one that came out in the 80s and the one that came out in the last 5 years. Okay, so I don't know what I was. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. I'm as bad as you are. I gotta look things up. I just need to see this guy's face so I can get over it.
I'm looking for a good reference source to do this head. And I just found somebody else's movie poster that is absolutely wonderful for this island of Earth. It's really where I was trying to go with this one. I'm kind of going, oh no, now everyone's going to compare the two. So I'm thinking maybe I should think of another movie poster to do. Maybe I should just work on the Christine poster because I got so many requests to do Christine.
You did.
And this Friday at in Tacoma, one of the movie theaters is going to be showing Christine for a midnight showing at 10 o'clock. And that'll be at the Blue Mouse. And at the other movie theater at 10 o'clock is Jennifer's Body. And a friend of mine, James Stowe, has done the movie poster artwork for that. And he did a really great job on it.
Yeah, I saw it online. It looked really good. That's an interesting movie too. It's a lot of fun.
Maybe, let's see. I think I might have to just work. Maybe if I just work on this sketch a little bit more. I'm going to go into a share screen mode once I find some online reference for me to use. Seems that the various artists have a disagreement on how to draw the eyes for this monster. So, some of them are just want it to look glassy and black, and others want to kind of draw it with little veins. And I'm trying to think of how it's actually done. I'm trying to get a good look at the creature. I'm not finding a really decent shot of him close up. Everybody's got a different little interpretation of him. Oh, this is so frustrating. I think I gotta show you guys this other poster because this other poster is really phenomenal. Let's see if I can locate it first before I do a screen share. Okay. Oh, my browser's not cooperating. It just put on me. I'm going to start up again. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this share screen. share. There we go. So let me find this fan-made movie poster. Here it is. Isn't that just a great poster?
Oh, wow.
Yes, I mean, it's going to be hard to compete with that one. And you can tell what I mean about people have different ideas of what should the eyes should be. In this one, the eyes are all veiny. And I'm kind of going, oh, that's a pretty nice one. Let's see if I can.
He almost looks like he has goggles on.
And this is another great poster. And so what I'm really looking for is a nice straight head-on shot so I can get the proportions of his head done properly. He's got a huge head. Maybe if I can just do a screen grab just of his head. And I'm going to save that. And I'm not going to use it as a photo reference. What I'm just going to do is I just want to do it for proportion reference. So I'm going to go back to my poster where I was, which was 11 by 17. And I'm pasting it in just to get the idea of the rough sizing. Space of how far up apart his eyes are. This weird thing happening here. And then his big old head. Okay, I think I've got enough. Oh, I should get his shoulders. Can I just get rid of that? And now what you can do inside, I'm going to knock back the shading of this, or rather the opacity. Add another layer. Make sure it's 100% black. Then I'm going to go in, and there should be a way that I can do a split screen on my canvas. I just need a There's a mirroring control. I just can't remember where it is. Oh, no, that's flipping it. Reference? No, that's not it. There's some sort of guide. Just need to find out. Where the guides are. Crop and reason. Maybe it's underneath page assist. No. Drawing guides? Ah, this is getting warmer. No, that's not it. Well, I'm going to turn off my help and check YouTube to find a little tutorial to tell me. It doesn't come with a manual, and I've done it once before. I just can't remember where it's located. So I'm going to stop sharing. Go to YouTube. Oh, I have to edit the drawing guide. Okay. Got it. Okay, now I know what to do. Going to turn back on the tutorial. Katie, I don't work in acrylic very much, and I keep forgetting, what is the name of the material you use to keep your acrylic paints wet so they don't dry on you?
Oh, goodness, I have it.
expen-
You can use it's called retarder. That's what Golden calls it. And then let me find out what. I have another bottle here. Floating medium is the other name for it. And glazing liquid. They all do the same thing. It's just every brand has their own name for it.
So
And
what I learned, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So in Procreate, what you do is you go up to the little wrench icon, and you do go and click on page assist, and then, oh, pardon me, drawing guide, and then underneath that you have edit drawing guide, and there you can go in and select where you want to have it to be. Like right now, I want it to flip in the middle where that blue dot is. And I want the perspective to be symmetry, meaning whatever I draw on the left side is going to show up and appear on the right-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and click, I want to select my opacity as clicking done. Now I should be able to I'm going to add another layer. Oh, it only works on the layer that you tell it to do the assisting on. That's interesting. So I'll move that layer up to the top. And I want these to be perfect circles. Why isn't it flipping? It should do the flip. Oh, I'm on because I'm on the wrong layer. That whole on the wrong layer thing came back to haunt me. So, let's try that again.
That is, if you knew how many times, if I had a nickel for every time I was on the wrong layer when I was doing digital, I wouldn't have to learn, I wouldn't have to work. Digital is, to me, some people, Judy, I don't know if you've done any digital painting or anything like that, but you know, some people are like, oh, that's not real art. It's its own technical beast.
Yeah, technical.
Yeah, it's just, you're still, you know, using your creativity and your vision, but it's a whole new set of tools. I see like a lot of younger people, like they just get in there and they figure out all this stuff almost intuitively. And you're like, I don't even know how you knew how to get in there and find that, let alone use it. Or they'll have videos on Instagram or, you know, all the different social media showing them making these paintings. And of course, I'm sure they're edited, but still, even with the edits, you're just like, how are you doing this so fast? But Mark's really good at it.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for
I'm
a long
afraid I
time.
spend so much time on YouTube trying to figure it out.
Yeah, well, and that's, I think YouTube is probably one of the greatest things that ever was created, because it's like you have all of these people. Sometimes, I mean, sometimes they're not very good, but, or depending on the topic, but you can learn so much. And used to, you had to go to school to learn anything, you know, everything. And I've learned so much from YouTube and even Instagram on how to paint and draw. That's
I learned how to do some electrical work on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It saved me, I don't know how many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I had to, I had one of my windows popped out of its frame, and I was trying to figure out, how do I get this back in? I mean, it's got these inserts that go into the side that help with the sash. I mean, I had these windows installed, you know, 20 years ago. Do they even make them the same way? And it took almost no time to find the right video. Just typed in the brand of window I was looking for and said, okay, man, a sash, replace sash. And bang, there was a little 2-minute video from the manufacturer, and I had my window in 5 minutes later. It had been sitting, you know, or rather I've been grunting with it up and down without the sashes and putting a stick in the window to keep it open. And
Yeah, it's pretty amazing what it does.
So this is moving along very quickly.
I like his brain.
So I saw the new Thor movie.
Oh yeah, I did too.
I personally liked the Screaming Goats.
I did too. We thought they were hilarious.
But I have some of the guy I went with hated the movie.
Oh no.
Oh, he thought it was terrible. He would have walked out if I wasn't there with him. But
Oh wow.
he's walked out of good films before too because he's just been impatient with them. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? This is some good stuff. And he's going, oh no. Like when he and I went and saw Valorian together, and he did not like Valorian at all. He considered it one of the worst films he'd ever seen. And I'm kind of going, you know nothing.
Yeah, we kind of went into it because we knew the director was Taika Waititi, so we knew it was going to be a really fun movie, and it was going to have really kind of witty dialogue. And he likes poppy music, and so like we went into it knowing kind of what we were going to be getting as far as the movie goes, and we just had a good time and laughed and ate popcorn and left and didn't think anything else of it. I mean, it wasn't like, but the Marvel movies aren't really like those movies where well, I mean, somebody might be that way, but I don't find them to be soul searching movies where I have deep introspection after watching them. I'm going to see a movie about comic book heroes, so I just want to be entertained, and I was entertained, so I was happy.
Yeah, me too.
It's like I don't want to make this any more complicated than it has to be. And it's the third movie in the Thor series, so it's like you kind of should know what you're getting by the third one. But
I completely agree.
I found Christian Bale in that role to be very interesting. It took me a minute when I actually got very distracted for several minutes in the movie. I was like, is that Christian Bale? Or is that Christian Bale? And Tim was finally like, yes, it's Christian Bale. I was like, okay. But yeah, we enjoyed it. Of course, it's kind of hard having a creator's brain because you kind of get where you're like, you get into a movie and you're already writing the end of it. You're like, all right, I see everything that's coming down the pipeline. And so we were kind of like, okay, we called it, but it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. It was a little bit predictable, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's the journey that you need to enjoy.
Right, exactly. I'm making pretty good headway on this. I have it's summer here in Washington, and we're having a really late summer. So we really haven't had a lot of summer-like days. Most days it's been in like the 60s and raining, and just really last summer we had our early summer and it was super hot. So this is the opposite of last year. So I haven't been inside painting as much. I've been outside riding my bike and doing stuff around the house. And so it's kind of, this is a good way to know you're going to paint or do your art at least once a week, is coming to this group.
Yeah, I haven't done much with mine. That the mornings will be bright and sunny. About noon, the clouds start rolling in. And then we have our afternoon showers, and it's down in the 50s at night.
You're in Colorado, is that right?
Yeah.
Are you in northern Colorado or southern?
No, this is about an hour south of Denver.
Oh, okay. I lived in
But
the
actually,
Four
it's been beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, my wife has relatives in Denver and also in just a bunch of relatives in the Denver and general vicinity. She did have an aunt in Boulder City for a while. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good so far. Just from a preliminary sketch, it's looking much better. So Katie, I don't know if you're aware, but sumo has started up. My wife and I are big sumo fans.
Oh no, I wasn't aware. And yeah, I'm aware you're a sumo fan though. Now, how long is the sumo season?
Sumo happens for 14 days. So it starts on a Sunday and it ends on a Sunday. And a tournament is called a basho. And then each day, various competitors in the top ranks are, actually there's about 700 sumo. But we only watch the highlight show, and we only watch the highlight show only covers like the top 35 players. And they do one fight against each other a day. And they're not knocked out. It's just whether or not they win or lose. They if they win 8 times out of 14, it's called kachikochi, and it means they've got a winning tournament. If they don't get 8 out of the 10 wins, then it's a losing tournament. And depending on where they're in their standings, if they have a winning tournament, they can move up. And if they have a losing tournament, they go down. The higher you are in the rankings determines how much you get paid.
Okay.
And then so you've got different divisions, like the lower divisions called the Makio Kochi division, and then you have the higher division. There's the second to highest rank is Ozeki, and the highest rank is Yokozuna. Now, the poor guy who's at the highest rank, Yokozunas are really tough to beat. And there's a reason, because if they can't lose. If they lose their ranking as Yokozuna. So they might have, one losing tournament, and that's enough. They can sit out a couple of tournaments if they're ill or if they're recuperating, but once you lose, you have to retire. But Yokozunas get paid the most. And then on top of that, there are the sponsors. So before each bout, various sponsors will pay to have like a banner walked around the ring. And whoever is sponsoring that particular bout, that prize money or whatever it is, whether or not it's, whatever that sponsor is, whether or not it's, a month's worth of gas or what have you. The winner wins those, but he typically just, now each of these, the sumo guys, they're called Rikishi. And I'm going to stop because I stopped. Each of the Rikishi belong to a different stable of players. And so that money just typically just goes to the stable to pay for things. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's a lot of fun seeing who goes up in the ranks and who goes down, and you're rooting. And then the person who wins the most bouts out of them all for the consecutive days, like say, some of the guys can go 14 days and not lose once. They win the Emperor's Cup for that time, which is another big cash prize. And they also have other prizes for the person who's done the most technical moves, he gets a prize, and the person who's shown the most fighting spirit gets a prize. It's not like a congeniality prize, but an actual how he's ranked or done in that basho. But yeah, if you're doing different technical moves, because there's like 82 different moves you can do to win on another guy, the person who does the most of those gets a prize. But and you can't have a tie if you get two people in the ranking who have both won 14 straight, which I've seen happen before. They'll do a playoff because only one guy can be on top. Yeah, boy, it better be the Yoko. Now, here's something. If you're in the lower ranking of the sumo, if you're at the lower rank of Makio Koshi, and you win against the Yokozuna, the highest ranking guy, and if you win during the bout, I mean, he can lose a bout, he can lose several bouts, but he can't lose the tournament. Okay, anyway. But if you win against him, you get what's called a Kimboshi, or a gold star. And what that means is for every sumo tournament that you participate in after that, you get $4,000. So the lower guys are really gunning for the tough guy because they want to get that extra star, because it means payday down the road. One guy who holds the record had 9 Kimboshis. So he was raking it in. Other players, they rise so quickly that they rise out of the lower ranks so quickly into the higher ranks, because you have to be at the lowest rank. If you're not, if you're a medium ranked guy and you win against the Yokozuna, no, you don't get anything.
Gotta be top or bottom.
Yeah, but the thing is, everyone's striving to be in one of the higher ranks because in the long run, that's going to pay higher. So it's always fun to watch, and it's just a half hour every day on NHK, and they show it 3 times during the course of the day. They show it. You can watch it at either 9 where we live. It's either at 9:30, 4:30, or 9:30 at night. And I told my wife, well, I got Epic Sketch Time today at 4:30, so we can't watch it then. We're going to have to get up, make sure that we watch it at 9:30. So there were a couple of surprises today, and there's been yesterday there was a surprise win against the Yokozuna, and the guy got his gold star. Pretty phenomenal work. Okay, I'm not a sports guy, but this is the only sport. Yeah, football, baseball, hockey, take care of us.
I know I was going to say, I've never thought of you as much of a sports person, but you're very passionate about this.
But when it comes to sumo, yeah, I'm all about the sumo. Everybody's got that one thing that they really like. Not that I would ever participate because, it just looks painful.
Yeah, it looks like a hard lifestyle.
They're up on this big, there's this big 3-foot mound of clay that's like a stage that they're up on, and you see them fly off that and into the crowd, and you're like, oh, he landed hard, and that poor little woman in the front row, she paid extra for that seat, and she got this 200-pound rickshaw landing hard.
Well, now you don't know. She might have paid that money just to see if she could get that to happen.
I'm sure they're hoping for some rickshaw. They'll make some, because you see, back when they didn't work wearing masks, you see there were nothing but smiles when they're, having this big guy come off of them. And for Japanese, these guys are huge. There's a minimum height requirement, but that's it. You can be skinny and still be a sumo guy. So they've got the smaller sumo guys that everybody roots for. But then you're going up against this mountain of a guy. Like there's this one Mongolian. He's the largest guy out there. I think he weighs something like 310 pounds. It's hard to move him when you're like, say, only 200.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check the calendar, make sure that we're on for next week.
Okay.
Oh, Judy, I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you'd like to have me send you a direct email reminder and send you the links directly, I do that for people so you don't have to sign up on Eventbrite all the time. Let me go into the chat. I'll type in my email address. There we go.
I need to put my glasses. I think my cat ate them. Did you take them?
I wonder what Bill had double booked today.
I know. I was wondering where he was at. He's always Mr. Reliable in here. And
well, normally I talk to him every day, but last week I decided I wanted to be on vacation. And let's see, All he says was you got double booked today, so probably won't make it to Epic. So you can either copy my email address, or you can send me your email address and I'll just put you on the list.
I will do both.
Awesome. I use a little service called MailChimp to send out the announcements. Katie, when you get those, does it say it's from MailChimp or does it say it's from me? What does it say to you?
It says it's from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to remind my wife to marinate the chicken. Oh, it looks like she's not in her seat. Maybe she's marinating the chicken already. Let me write that down. Got it. Well, I think I'll do a little bit more on my, I want to make my This Island Earth guy look a little bit more veiny, but I'm going to have to decide where I want his veins to go. Oh, I almost drew on my iPad with my Sharpie.
God.
Which is, you can use rubbing alcohol to get Sharpies off. If you have an old dry erase board, don't use rubbing alcohol to clean it because that will destroy the dry erase surface. What you do is you get a nice wet dry erase marker, a nice really wet one, and you just write over the old stuff and it'll loosen it right up. And then if you wipe it, that will take it right off. And that's the best way if you've got an old dry erase marker that has something written on it a long time ago, or if someone's accidentally written on it with a permanent marker, you can do that too. So you made the shadow much darker this time of your wolf, Katie. That's cool.
Yeah, believe it or not, what I've done though is this is actually like a gunmetal gray, but I put a blue highlight behind there and just a little bit of black
Making
on
it
the
pop.
outside. Yeah, somebody taught me how to do that.
Now, who taught you how to do that?
That's the same with this outside. I outlined it in the red, and then I put a green, believe it or not, this is like a yellow green shimmer that's bringing out the red, and then I'm going to repaint over with the purple so it'll make the highlight. Yeah, and I actually put some pinks and some.
Well, what did you think of the tutorial I sent you of the trick of trying to figure out where the nostrils go on a straight-on shot of a face?
I think that would definitely work. It would have been nice to have known that the other day when I was fighting with that nose. I'm fighting with a dog right now. I'm doing a digital tarot of the Fool, and I'm using a Labrador Retriever. It's called an English Cream Labrador Retriever, and I'm having a really hard time with it because as I am prone to do, especially with digital, I think I'm over layering and I'm adding too much to it. Whereas if I made it like one color and then added, like a softer color over the top with just a few details, I probably am going to get a better result than what I'm currently
just go
doing.
into your layers and do change the opacity and start knocking those down.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
Well, everyone, it is 5:30. You managed to waste yet another hour with Epic Sketch Time. I want to thank Judy for joining us
Ooh.
this week. It was great to have you. We hope to see
No,
Bill
thank
next
you for
time.
having me. I've enjoyed talking with you guys.
And maybe we'll see
Definitely.
Christina show back up one of these days. I know that her scheduling changed up. We have people move in and out. We never know who's going to show up. So thank you all again, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.